This is a story of two countries, their leaders, and a special relationship that may or may not exist. The year is 1946, and Winston Churchill is invited to deliver a speech at a small college in Missouri, USA.
This means a special relationship between the British Commonwealth and Empire and the United States of America.
That phrase, special relationship, has permeated through Anglo-American history ever since.
It's a kind of a story that certain Americans and Britons have been telling each other for the best part of the last 70 years or so.
Sam Edwards is a lecturer of American Studies at Manchester Metropolitan University in the UK.
Margaret Thatcher had a special relationship with the US because she and Reagan had common kind of commitment to certain politics. It was also shaped by the 1980s and by the Cold War and by East-West tensions, in which that Anglo-American special relationship still had a kind of a clear enemy.
But there are some who say it's simply for show.
I've always believed that the special relationship was a useful myth.
That's Scott Lucas, a US international politics professor at the University of Birmingham.
For Britain, I think having the idea of the special relationship after 1945 was a way of saying we're still powerful, we're still important. For American leaders, quite often, it was sort of a special relationship of convenience.
According to Lucas, the Iraq War in 2003 was a perfect example of that convenience. George W. Bush and Tony Blair's close relationship was well publicized and scrutinized to some extent, as you can see in this BBC interview.
You don't pray together, for example?
No, we don't pray together, Jeremy, no.
And while Barack Obama and David Cameron played ping pong together, the US president made it clear that a special relationship wouldn't help the UK when it came to Brexit.
Our focus is in negotiating with a big bloc of the European Union to get a trade agreement done. And UK is going to be in the back of the queue.
Theresa May was the first foreign leader to meet Donald Trump after he took office, and some hoped it would lead to a special relationship revival.
Initially, after President Trump's victory in the election, there was a clear effort on the part of Theresa May's government to kind of firm up the bonds of the so-called special relationship. I don't see the same kind of political, ideological connections between these two figures. President Trump's brand of politics is very different to that of Prime Minister Theresa May's.
But while leaders between the two countries may disagree, does that even matter?
Where it really is important, where it's significant, is more the American and British militaries, who I think have a primary relationship because of the shared experience of World War II and going through the Cold War and afterwards. I think at the level of intelligence services, and I think to an extent between the diplomatic services.
Whether the special relationship is fact or fiction, reality or myth, there's no doubting the shared history between these two countries. Whether the history means anything to the current leaders is a different matter.